Now, no film from the radioactive sci-fi 1950s realizes the dominant theme of early Cold War paranoia better than the subtle and sophisticated invasion of the Bodysnatchers, which is produced by Allied Artists in 1956. The movie's directed by Don Siegel. Siegel was a veteran of many great B movies, and Siegel's also the mentor for the great Western movie director Sam Peckinpah, and he's the mentor for, of course, Clint Eastwood. Don Siegel directed Dirty Harry and a number of other great Clint Eastwood movies. Peckinpah actually worked on the script. He's uncredited and has a small role in the movie as a gas meter reader. Bodysnatchers depicts the alien invasion of a small California town via giant vegetable pods from space. These large extraterrestrial seed pods replicate human beings, replacing them as the original people fall asleep. The exact copies of humanity appear identical, but have no emotions or individuality. Now, the local town doctor, Dr. Miles Bennell, played by a very good actor, Kevin McCarthy, who was very, very memorable in a great Twilight Zone episode, for example, tries to stop the vegetable duplicating pods from space, and he must not fall asleep. Now, the events in the movie are told via flashback, while truckloads of the invading space pods are heading to neighboring towns, ready for use in replacing the local population. Now, after the takeover by the space pods, life loses its frustrating complexity, and all emotion and sense of individuality vanishes. Dr. Miles Bennell, Kevin McCarthy, and his girlfriend, Becky Driscoll, I believe her name is, Dana Winter, managed to escape from the replicated humans and hide in a mine outside the town. The doctor hears, siren-like singing off in the distance and goes to investigate. This haunting lullaby comes from a nearby farm where the large extraterrestrial sea pods are growing by the thousands. While the doctor is gone, his girlfriend Becky has fallen asleep and has been transformed into one of them. She calls out to the pod people, and the doctor is chased from the town onto a highway. He is screaming madly as the cars and trucks whiz by him. Now, the film's original ending was downbeat, with the space pods as victorious and humanity as doomed. The director, Don Siegel, wanted the film to wanted a downbeat ending, with Dr. Bennell, Kevin McCarthy, screaming as truckloads of seed pods pass by on the highway. Now, the studio, Allied Artists, was very weary of such a pessimistic ending and insisted that a prologue and epilogue be inserted into the film, suggesting a more optimistic outcome. That's why the movie begins with a ranting and raving Dr. Bennell in a hospital emergency ward, telling his story to a psychiatrist/doctor, and ends with the seed pods found on a highway. This is due to a highway accident. These fallen seed pods all over the highway confirm Bennell's story/warning, and the authorities, the FBI, is then notified. But the ending is not exactly clear if the authorities intervene in time to stop the invasion and save planet Earth. The original downbeat ending has been released on video and DVD. But most theatrical 35mm prints still contain the prologue and epilogue. Now, in Jack Finney's original novel, which is written around 1954, the extraterrestrials finally leave Earth when human beings put up a strong and organized resistance. The pods have a short lifespan, only 5 years. And the people they inhabit will only live for 5 years. So there's a little chance of the invasion being successful. Now, the actors Dick Powell, Joseph Cotton, and Gig Young were all considered for the role of Dr. Miles Bennell. And actresses Anne Bancroft, Donna Reed, Kim Hunter, and Vera Miles were also considered for the role of his girlfriend, Becky. The film's modest budget, which was cut by the studio several times, prevented major stars from being used. And mostly TV actors and relative newcomers are utilized in the movie. For example, Carolyn Jones, who would play Morticia in The Addams Family. The studio changed the title of the movie many, many times. Original working titles were They Came From Another World, Better Off Dead, Sleep No More, Evil in the Night, The World in Danger, before the studio finally settles on Invasion of the Bodysnatchers. Now, the producer, Walter Wagner, wanted Orson Welles to do the voiceover narration in the film. He actually wrote a number of speeches and prefaces for the movie. But Welles wanted to direct. He says, look, if I can't direct a movie, I'm not going to do this voiceover narration. I'm not going to do the trailer. And Wagner says no. So Wagner then approaches author Ray Bradbury. But things don't work out with Ray Bradbury either. Bradbury's actually working with John Huston at the time on the script for Moby Dick, so he's unavailable. Invasion of the Bodysnatchers had three, I count them, 1, 2, 3, unsuccessful previews before its initial release. Audiences could not follow the film. It was too complex. And they laughed at the wrong places. Allied artists removed much of the film's humor. The original cut was considerably different than the final film. It actually had elements of humor in it. The studio claimed it was their policy not to mix humor with horror. During the film's original release, theaters displayed several large papier-mâché seed pods in lobbies and entrances, as well as a large lifelike cutout of McCarthy and Winter running away from an angry mob. Bodysnatchers, Invasion of the Bodysnatchers, was a big, mega hit at the box office, and the movie was highly praised by the critics. The film has become a true classic of 1950s science fiction, and has been remade many times. Now, there's a debate whether the film is a reflection of right-wing, secret takeover, Cold War paranoia, the dangers facing America, the movie as a metaphor for communist tyranny, or a reflection of left-wing paranoia, bland conformity over the increasing power of the McCarthyists in Eisenhower-era America. Either way, it's an allegory of the loss of individuality, an allegory for the loss of personal autonomy and human feeling. Dehumanization, the unhealing damage to the human psyche. Acute paranoia reigns supreme. All right. With that thought, we're going to close the show. I had an awful lot of fun. I can't even begin to tell you.